Hello everyone! Today we're going to talk about the 5 main things that are stopping you from succeeding and achieving your goals. This is a very special video to me because these are all things that I have been guilty of doing myself, and I've recently sort of discovered this, and since trying to fix all of these mistakes, it's completely changed my perspective on life, and honestly it's improved my life so much. But just before we jump into the video, please do me a favor, and if you do like my content, hit that subscribe button because it helps me so much, and it also allows you to know whenever I post something new. Number 1 is limiting beliefs. If you don't know what limiting beliefs are, these are just things that are kind of imprinted in your mind that you believe to be your reality based on what you grew up to see, what you grew up to hear. So for example, if you've ever heard your parents say something like, oh, we can't really afford this, or telling you the only way to succeed is getting a decent job, having a 9 to 5 and earning a decent income, even though you're miserable, as long as you can pay your bills, that is just the way life works. So automatically, that's what you're going to believe as an adult, because those beliefs have been imprinted in you as a child. And as children, that's when we absorb the most information. So that's why we grow up to think, well, I can't make £1 million because that's just not realistic. So my parents told me to go to school, learn, get my degree, have the office job, the 9 to 5, feel miserable, but at least I can get to pay my bills. That is the sort of limiting belief that you need to break out of. The moment you realize that there's no limit on what you can achieve, that is when you'll start succeeding, because you will stop capping your success. So instead of thinking that the best you can do is have a 9 to 5 and earn £2,000 a month, you need to start breaking that and trick yourself into believing that no, actually everything and anything is possible. So I can do way more than that. I can break that cycle. So these limiting beliefs are carried through for generations because our parents learned it from our grandparents learned it from our great-grandparents, and it makes sense because back in the day, times were different, opportunities were different, and there was a bit more of a limit, even though this rule still applied to their times as well. I would say that we are fortunate enough to have a bit more opportunities, and especially with the internet about, it's so easy to reach a specific career goal. For example, if you want to make a certain amount of money, you can always start something on the side, an online business. The day and age we live in makes it so easy for us to make more money and to achieve higher goals. I'm going to give you a little example. I was doing my goal list for 2025. So I was writing down all the things I want to achieve in 2025. And as I was writing it, I started getting this feeling in my stomach, and I was like, oh, like I think I'm reaching too high. I don't think I would be able to achieve all of this in 1 year. And that's when I kind of had to like sit down and think, hold on, why can't you achieve that? What's wrong with wanting to achieve that in 1 year? You can absolutely do that. So stop putting a cap on that. What's wrong with you? So I had to start a new list. And honestly, after having that conversation with myself and telling myself, no, you can actually achieve whatever you want to achieve because it is possible, I feel so much better. And writing that list of goals actually made me excited because I thought, this is so doable. Like, I am actually going to be able to do all of this in 1 year. And that's what this is about. You need to break that cycle. You need to break that mentality that you grew up with. One way you can do this is by affirming to yourself constantly. I do this every morning. All the things that were kind of imprinted into me as a child, I sort of tell myself the opposite to make myself believe that no, I am good enough. I can do whatever I want to do in my life. I can actually enjoy what I do and make money from it and make a living from it. And not only make a living, but I can be successful enough to make my parents retire early. Like, those are the sort of goals that I want to achieve. And most people would say that's not realistic. But guess what? It is. And I am going to make it reality. And that's all you need to tell yourself. There are so many possibilities and so many ways you can achieve those goals. So don't limit yourself, honestly. Another way you can break free of this is honestly educate yourself. I started reading a lot. I started listening to podcasts with successful people that have achieved so much and started from nothing. So hearing their stories kind of gives you a different perspective, and it allows you to see that no, it is possible. You can definitely achieve that as well. If they could do it, then you can do it as well. So kind of using their stories as inspiration to motivate yourself, that is very helpful as well. And just educate yourself on that specific goal that you want to achieve. So educate yourself on people who achieved it. How did they do it? What steps, what little habits did they implement in their daily life to do that? It honestly helps so much. And as soon as you break that limiting belief system that you have set up, you can honestly do so much more, and it will be so much easier for you. I promise you that. Number 2, comparing your journey with someone else's end goal. When you scroll through social media, because that is kind of the biggest factor here, you get to see all these people living lavish lives, or you get to see a successful business person who set up this like incredible £1,000,000 business idea, and they're earning so much. And you look at yourself and you think, well, why is it so hard for me, but it's so easy for them? But the truth is, you have no idea the journey that that person went through. You actually have no idea, because no one shows the struggles they went through. They will always show the end result. You will never see someone's struggles. They'll always show the things that they're proud that they've achieved, but they'll never show the behind the scenes and how hard it was for them to get there. And in most cases, most people do have a hard journey getting there. We just don't see it. So comparing your journey, your hard journey, to someone else's end result is such a huge mistake, because it completely demotivates you. You look at them and think, well, I'm not as good as them. I can't achieve what they did, so I'm not even going to try. That is such a bad mentality to have, and it will always stop you from achieving your goals, because you're not even going to try to put effort into doing that. So a way to fix this is to completely change your mentality. It is going to be hard, but you need to put the work in if you want to get the result. One thing that you can do is looking at that person that achieved that thing, and instead of thinking, well, they got it, I don't, this sucks, look at them as inspiration. They are the proof that you can achieve that goal. So if they did it, why can't you? Look at people that inspire you. Stop consuming content that is irrelevant to your day-to-day life. Filtering your content is so important, because social media consumes so much of our time. Completely unfollow all the accounts that bring no value to your life. For example, knowing what outfit celebrities wore at Met Gala. Like that, how is that beneficial to your growth? It's gonna help you achieve nothing. So the way to filter this is to unfollow all of those accounts providing you this unuseful content, and start following people that you actually believe in, people that inspire you, and people that you want to be like. So for example, as I've mentioned in my previous video, I am a lash tech and I've started a lash business, and this is something that I'm very passionate about, and it's one of my goals for 2025 is to obviously grow this business. And I started following people with lash businesses, and there is this one person in particular that I follow, and every time I see her content, she inspires me so much. It just makes me want to drop everything, drop my phone, stop looking at it on social media. It makes me want to start putting in the work into my business to grow it. And viewing her content just makes me want to be better. So that's the type of content you need to start consuming on a day-to-day basis. Content that will motivate you to want to achieve those goals, to want to put the work in to achieve those goals. This actually brings us on to number 3, which is you are addicted to social media. And as I've mentioned previously, we spend so much of our time on social media, scrolling through and consuming content that is just not relevant to us. We don't need to know what celebrities do on a daily basis. It brings nothing to your life. So you need to reduce your screen time. Reducing your screen time is so crucial to you achieving your goals, because that time that you spend scrolling through social media can be used into putting the work in. Every time I'm on my phone now, it's only to make posts for my Lash account, to make posts for my TikTok account, which is my UGC account, or I'm editing for this channel. So these 3 things are all things that are actually part of my goals, and I'm putting the time and effort into them. So that's the only time I actually use my phone, or to do research on videos and things like that, because I'm still learning a lot about YouTube and algorithms and stuff like that. So that's the only time I go on my phone. Other than that, I work on myself, I journal, I read. These are things that are helping me grow as a person. They're helping me gain more knowledge that I can then apply to my day-to-day life to improve my life and achieve my goals. Number 4, and definitely the most important one of them all, you are not prioritizing your health. I can't stress how important this is. This is so crucial to our growth, to achieving our goals, and is so underestimated and so overlooked. I don't know why everyone overlooks this, me included. I never used to consider this until very recently. But think about it this way. If you're running a business, for example, how are you meant to put in the best energy and effort into that business to grow if you don't actually have the energy to put in, because your health is not a priority and you're not taking care of yourself? How are you going to put in the effort and energy into growing that business or growing your career if you don't have any energy to give? Or even if you do, let's say, have a successful business and make a lot of money, what point is there in making that money if you can't enjoy it, if you're dying? I know it's a dramatic example, but it's literally so true. If you're dying, what is the point? This is, like I said, something that I have only considered recently, and I've basically stopped smoking. I used to be a smoker for 5 years, and I've started to prioritize physical activity every day. So I walk 10k steps every single day, and I've completely cut smoking out of my life. And when I tell you, after a week of doing that, I felt like a different person. Like I would wake up at 6 a.m. and I'd be so energized. I am doing so much more on a daily basis. I don't constantly feel tired. And it's honestly made me more motivated to put more energy into the things I love doing because I have more energy to give now. So yeah, that is a very, very important one. And honestly, we should never overlook that. So definitely put the time and effort into your health. Make sure to exercise every day. And when I say exercise, you don't have to start lifting weights or running or whatever. Just walk. Honestly, that's what I do. Every day I walk at least 10k steps. And I'm seeing such incredible results already. This brings me to point number 5 and our last one, which is not having a morning routine. Having a morning routine is crucial to having a productive day. And obviously, you want to have a productive day in order to achieve your goals, because you can't achieve your goals if you're not being productive and you're not doing the things that you are required to achieve your goals. I honestly used to lay in bed for an hour after I wake up, at least an hour, and I just scroll through my phone. I'd not do anything with my time. I would just be a bum, honestly. And I've realized since I started implementing these little habits into my morning routine, like walking for an hour straight as soon as I wake up, having my matcha, watching my inspirational podcasts, that has completely changed the way my day goes, because I'm being so much more energetic. First of all, I'm being so much more productive because I have everything planned out. When I do my little walk on the treadmill, I can plan out what I need to do today, what are the things I need to achieve, the little goals that will get me to my big goal. So definitely a very important step, and you should 100% look into building that morning routine if you haven't already, because it is honestly crucial. Doing that in the morning first thing, it just sets the intention for the whole day. And I promise you, if you start doing this, you will be so much more fulfilled and you'll be so much more proactive. So I definitely recommend giving that a try. And one thing I do recommend is honestly wake up early. The impact waking up early has had on my day-to-day life is incredible, because I feel like I have so much more time to do things in the morning before I go to work, because I have quite a few hours now that I wake up early. I can literally do so much. I edit content, I film content, like I'm filming this now literally right before work. And the reason I have time to do this is because I woke up early and I had a morning routine. I managed to wash my hair, do my makeup, start recording. I did my steps, and I listened to my motivational podcast, which made me want to do this even more. So it is honestly so important to wake up early, because you'll be so much more productive. I know it will be hard at first, because it was for me too, but it is so worth it. And now I wake up at 6 a.m., but I want to start slowly waking up earlier, to the point that I wake up at 5 every day, because I feel like I can still do more with my day. So having that extra hour will allow me to do a little bit more. This concludes today's video, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, make sure to watch this one as well. I'll leave a link up here. It is how you can change your life in 90 days, and I talk a little bit more about building healthy habits. And make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said before, it helps me so much, and I will see you guys in my next one.